It's evolved into a city of minorities actually being the majority, and the fact that we're now able to celebrate each other is an incredible opportunity.
Color Magazine is great. They're one of our sponsors of NAP Boston, and give us great exposure in the community for minority and Asian American and people of color issues.
I think Color Magazine is very refreshing to see people that look like me that are doing very positive things within the community and in the corporate world.
When newspapers around the country are down 12 to 15% in circulation, they're down 30% in revenue, 7% of the news media jobs have evaporated in the past year, and despite that terrible environment, Color is growing. It's got a useful mission. People see it's useful. Her hard work and her team's hard work is paying off, and she is creating a legacy here and a resource and a gift for the entire city, and in fact for New York, and then in Chicago, and El Mundo complete.
This gathering is wonderful. It's wonderful to see friends, to see a lot of the professional organizations represented, to see the companies that are really working towards inclusion and diversity, for them to be recognized and to celebrate the progress that we're making.
Good evening and welcome to the 2001 All-Inclusive Awards. My name is Evan Cutts. I'm the content editor for Color, and tonight I will preside as your MC. The All-Inclusive Awards ceremony, created in 2009 by our founder, Josefina Bonilla, served as the flagship event for Color's diversity and inclusion programming. As many of us know, diversity, equity, and inclusion is more than a business imperative. It is a way of thinking that promotes the acceptance, support, and celebration of people regardless of their race, gender, sexuality, ability, class, and so much more. At the All-Inclusive Awards, Color has the pleasure of recognizing individuals and organizations nominated by you for their impactful contributions to DE&I, in their businesses and in their communities. The 2021 All-Inclusive Award winners have made commitments to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in their careers and organizations, and for that, we celebrate them today. Before we commence the awards ceremony, I would like to invite our Director of Diversity Programs, Camilla Avant, to the stage to introduce our evening's keynote speaker. Please welcome Camilla Avant.
Good evening, and thank you, Evan. Welcome, everyone. It's hard to believe we're here once again, almost wrapping up another year and presenting our 2021 All-Inclusive Awards. We received a number of nominations of outstanding leaders doing great things, navigating some of the challenges we still continue to face during these uncertain times. Many of our award winners took on these challenges head-on, giving their time and effort to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion at work and in their business environments and surrounding communities. They are all exceptional, and I'm inspired by their accomplishments. All of our nominees today are so deserving of the recognition, and we at Color are thrilled to present them with their awards, and thank you for being here today to join the celebration. Let's take a moment to learn a little bit more about Junior Achievement of Northern New England.
Hey, this is Charlie Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'm just here to tell you that Junior Achievement, which has been providing education and experience and support to kids from K to 12 here in the Commonwealth of Mass for 70 years, is a wonderful organization, serves about 40,000 kids a year here in the Commonwealth and in New Hampshire, and helps them get a very strong understanding about work and about life and about purpose. It's a great organization, and you should all take an opportunity to take advantage of what it has to do and bring here in the Commonwealth. Thank you.
I am Junior Achievement.
I am Junior Achievement.
I remember two things that got me here.
owning my own restaurants, cooking with my family, and the first time a JA volunteer came to our school. Before that, I didn't realize I could build my own company. But I'd say because of JA, I discovered I could pursue my passion. My name is Maria, and I am Junior Achievement.
Share your discovery at www.ja.org/alumni.
Okay, so Amy, tell me about what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be an interpreter for sign language.
Maybe try to be a lawyer.
I want to be a football player. I would like to run like a little cafe or a clothing store.
I want to do something like talk about other cultures and learn about other cultures other than the United States.
JA is an organization that works with kids K through 12 that provides them learning opportunities that they may not get in the typical classroom setting. So they bring in different types of volunteers that can give them a different kind of experience.
Being in front of the kids was actually great. They really look up to you. They actually trust you with the things that you're going to communicate to them. So that it really was empowering in that, is that they trust you. You know you're going to be teaching something to them.
The VP and the president that you picked out, they're going to be representing your group.
It's been fun to be that voice for a day that allows them to see a different perspective and a different method of communicating that they might not be used to.
What year is it? 2011. Okay.
Being a banker myself, it's extremely important to learn how to save and prepare yourself for your retirement, and also learning the value of money. Ultimately, we all want to be in Tahiti, so I'd like for them to learn how to prepare for that.
Yes.
I think it's like important you bring stuff in and then
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, sir.
Things like filling out a check register, filling out a deposit slip, understanding how to maintain an account balance so they don't get overdrawn, were all filtered in the lesson plan in a way that allowed them to apply something that happens in the real world while using the skills that they learn in school.
Page 16? 16?
I think it's really interesting, you know, when we have others come in, like Junior Achievement, and interact with our kids and show interest in our students. And I think kids learn a lot more when they feel like people are interested in them. And so I think it's really important that Junior Achievement came in and did what they did today.
I'll take for a pretty good print. How about that?
To actually stand up and do it, and to see kids excited about your interaction and the things that you have to offer was very inspiring at the end of the day. I had a blast, and it was a really great experience.
For us as teachers, as educators, we're continuously learning, and I think it's always valuable when a teacher can sit back and watch people implement strategies and possibly implement those in their lessons as they go forward.
Well, the message I like to send to the kids, number one, is that you can actually have fun doing your job, and when you have the opportunity, it's fantastic. It's more than just, ties and suits and traffic. It's more of a, I can actually go to work and love to go to work. So that's what I want to relay.
I'm learning more about being an adult and going into the real world.
It didn't feel like a class, it felt more of like an activity.
They're giving me advice of how to be better at what I'm going to do when I grow up, and it's really like helping me understand how it's going to be in the future.
It is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Radeems Nova. Color recognized Mr. Nova in 2018 at our All-Inclusive Awards as a Publisher Award winner as an individual. He is president and CEO of Junior Achievement of Northern New England and possesses the heart of a philanthropist committed to today's youth. Junior Achievement empowers youth with programs to teach them from early formative years through high school, giving young people critical life skills and preparing them for careers of the future. Mr. Nova's leadership and passion can be found in his work not only with Junior Achievement, but also with organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club and the Association of Latino Professionals for America, ALPHA. He truly leads by example, and I would now like to welcome Radeems Nova to the virtual stage. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind introduction. I am very excited to address you from the future home of the JA Innovation Center at RSM in Charlestown. Soon, this venue will be filled with high school students from Charlestown and Greater Boston who will come together with each other and with adult mentors to launch and operate their own startup businesses through Junior Achievement. They will gain access to this beautiful space through a generous donation by RSM, and it will be furnished by our partners at Wayfair. They will also gain access to top technology, including computers with design software, 3D printers, and light machinery that will allow them to ideate, design, prototype, and manufacture their innovative products. Regardless of whether these young people become entrepreneurs in the long term, they will develop essential skills, including critical thinking, creativity, communications, and collaboration that will set them on a path to success regardless of which career pathway they may choose. The JA Innovation Center at RSM is part of a new strategic vision for Junior Achievement to close the wealth and opportunity gaps for young people in 10 impact communities in Greater Boston by creating middle school to career pathways, igniting youth entrepreneurship, and preparing financially savvy youth. We will create middle school to career pathways by launching and scaling key middle school programs, continuing to expose these young people to careers and employers and role models throughout high school, so by the time they graduate high school, they will hopefully have found something that they're interested about in a potential career. As students graduate high school, we will now take a more active role in helping them secure and succeed in paid internships, apprenticeships, entry-level jobs, or even connect them with an incubator if they want to launch a business. In essence, we will supplement Junior Achievement strengths in teaching young people about business by actually opening career opportunities to them, because most of them do not have the networks to do that on their own. We will also scale and strengthen our financial literacy programs for middle and high school students, because we believe we must instill the knowledge and confidence in young people to know that they can leverage their finances to empower themselves and their families. This vision will provide the urban youth who we serve the tools that they need to become well-rounded adults and create a better future for themselves and their families. It is a vision that I personally believe will truly change the path of these young people's lives and will bring about positive change to our communities. When I consider my personal journey and the role that mentors and youth organizations and networks had on my life, I know that we can do a better job by just focusing on preparing today's youth to become tomorrow's leaders. In 2018, I was honored to receive one of Color Magazine's All-Inclusive Awards, and during my remarks, I focused on the role that Access played in my personal life and how it helped me become successful and now pay it forward through my role at Junior Achievement. I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, and at the age of 13, I moved to Lawrence, Massachusetts with my mom. My dad has stayed back on the island as my parents had divorced. So I was raised by a single mom in a community that provided a lot of opportunities for a teenage boy like myself to get in trouble. I was, very impressionable, and a lot of my friends were doing some of the things that you shouldn't be doing at that age. But I was one of the lucky ones. I found youth organizations that took a chance on me, provided me opportunities to take on leadership roles early in life, and most importantly, exposed me to mentors who were truly invested in my success. As a result, I have dedicated most of my career to giving back to my community and to paying forward the support that I received as a young immigrant. I was an average student and an average athlete, and I know some of my friends were better students than me and better athletes than me, but some of them ended up in jail or even worse. And the only difference between my and their story is that I had the presence of positive role models and institutions in my life that took an active role in my development. Early in my life and career, I realized that being smart, working hard, and doing the right things sometimes was not enough to succeed. I attended prestigious Middlebury College in Vermont, and I noticed that many of my classmates were securing paid internships at some of the world's best companies and institutions through the networks and influence of their parents, while my mom was working several minimum wage jobs just to put food on the table and ensure that I and my sisters could get an education. I started to realize that the American dream that so many people talked about was not accessible to all Americans. I started to realize that sometimes the color of your skin, the zip code where you were born in, and the access or lack of access to opportunity that you had could determine whether you could realize that dream. I, like most immigrants, had the same drive to become successful in this country, but I was not born with the national network and resources to help me do that. I was one of the fortunate ones again. I found an organization called ALPHA, the Association of Latino Professionals for America, where I met like-minded Latino professionals who had the same desires as I did to succeed in this country. While I was the only Latino in my department of 200 at a major financial institution in Boston, in ALPHA I found an immediate familia who looked out for me and helped me open doors that I would never have been able to open on my own. But why should I and a select few count on luck, both back when I was a young person and then as a professional? Why can't we offer these opportunities to everyone? I know the answer is obvious to this audience because I know I'm preaching to the choir. But there's no reason why the race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, neighborhood, and any other trait should impact our ability to pursue happiness in this country. Yet we know that unfortunately it does, and there is no magic formula to change that. It requires people to realize that becoming a more equitable society is not only the right thing to do, but it is the smart thing to do. Research shows that diverse and inclusive organizations outperform homogeneous ones. Households of color will become the largest percentage of households in the country soon enough. Our future workforce will be increasingly diverse, and the buying power and political influence of communities of color will continue to increase for decades and centuries to come. This is not my opinion or wishful thinking. This is data-driven information based on the shift of demographics in this country and in the world. So how do we ensure the continued strength of the U.S. in the global stage? Well, we must start by realizing that our increasingly diverse youth will, without a doubt, be the future leaders of this country. I encourage each and every one of you and myself to not just wait for solutions to come from the government, the private sector, or even for impact organizations like Junior Achievement. If each and every one of us can identify one young person who lacks access to opportunity, and we can do whatever's in our power to allow them to succeed, that would not only make an impact in one life, it will impact that young person's family, it will empower them to strengthen their communities, our region, and the country. I want to thank all of you for everything that you do to move forward diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a more inclusive society in the greater Boston region. And to the recipients of tonight's awards, congratulations. You are exactly the type of role models that our young people so desperately need.
Thank you kindly, Radames, for those words of empowerment and encouragement. It is a pleasure to have you join us once again. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, let's hear from this year's honorees. These award winners have made long-lasting contributions to their institutions, employees, and communities in the areas of diversity and inclusion. In the category of Change Agent Individual, the winner is Indira Addington, Global Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer at Aries Management. Mrs. Addington partners with the firm's DEI Council to advance Aries' strategy to attract, develop, advance, and engage diverse talent with an inclusive, welcoming environment, along with advancing equity in the broader alternative asset management industry. Mrs. Addington also serves as an advisor to support DEI initiatives at portfolio companies across Aries' investment strategies. Prior to joining Aries in 2021, Mrs. Addington served as Senior Vice President and Head of Targeted Sourcing at Wells Fargo & Company, where she provided leadership in the strategic planning and execution of diversity sourcing initiatives and programs for the firm. She also serves on the board of directors of PolyPrep, the Committee for Hispanic Children and Families, and the Council of Urban Professionals. Mrs. Arrington holds a BA summa cum laude from Rutgers University in Economics and an MBA from the New York University Stern School of Business. She is also a Cornell University Certified Diversity Professional Advanced Practitioner and is a part of the Association of Latino Professionals for America, Primer Network, and the Council of Urban Professionals, and so much more. Thank you, Mrs. Arrington, for your contributions, and congratulations.
I am Indira Arrington, and I serve as ARIE's Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. And I am honored to accept the All-Inclusive Change Agent Award. I want to start by thanking Color for all of the incredible work you have done for over a decade to drive the development, advancement, and empowerment of professionals of color. Through your powerful leadership conferences, you have made an invaluable impact on so many of us. You have created a safe space for us to connect and learn from each other as we continue our DEI journeys. And you have also shined a light on the great work and impact that professionals of color deliver within their firms and their communities through your awesome awards ceremonies. I feel truly blessed to have the opportunity to do the work that I do and be part of the change that I want to see in the world. I know that I am standing on the shoulders of individuals and organizations like Color that have sponsored me into this privileged position, and I am forever grateful to all of them. And I implore each and every one of us to develop the next generation of empowered change agents by never forgetting that you have a responsibility at every stage of your career to mentor and sponsor someone junior to you. So make your shoulders strong, because leaders have followers. Congratulations to my fellow honorees, and Color, thank you again for your continued thought leadership and fellowship.
In the category of Leadership Individual, the winner is Deisha Barnett, Vice President of Strategic Communications at UPS. Deisha is an accomplished leader and corporate board director who counsels CEOs, shapes strategies, and advocates for inclusion while building high-performance teams. She is a passionate driver of transformation and results, whether engaging media, investors, analysts, consumers, employees, or community stakeholders. At UPS, she guides enterprise-wide editorial planning and leads communication strategy focused on the company's commitment to its people and its approach to environmental, social, and governance issues. Previously, Deisha led the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce's brand communications team and was the organization's first head of diversity and inclusion. She shepherded the organization's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts and was the architect behind ATL Action for Racial Equity, which aims to address the effects of systemic racism in the community and workplace. Deisha is a proud wife, mom, and alumna of Clark Atlanta University. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communications with a concentration in public relations. Color is presenting and accepting this award on behalf of Deisha Barnett and would like to thank her for her contributions to DE&I and say once again, congratulations. In the category of ERG Leader Individual, the winner is Edgar Gill, Senior Deputy Commissioner of the Division of Corporations and Financial Institutions at the California Department of Financial Protection. Edgar Gill of Elk Grove was reappointed to Senior Deputy Commissioner of the Division of Corporations and Financial Institutions by California Governor Gavin Newsom on December 30th, 2020, where he has served in that role with the former Department of Business Oversight since 2015. Gill was Senior Vice President at U.S. Bank from 2011 to 2015 and was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity at the University of California, Davis. As a top department leader overseeing all of its 700 state employees, Edgar Gill was tapped by Commissioner Manny Alvarez to lead the organization's first Black Employee Resource Group to demonstrate its professional support for its Black employees. A year later, the department's Black ERG has transitioned into an employee-led leadership program and has established itself as a model for other state government agencies to follow that historically did not embrace ERGs.
Hello, my name is Ed Gill, and I'm a Senior Deputy Commissioner at the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, the state's financial regulator. It is with great honor that I accept the All-Inclusive Award from Color Magazine for individual leadership for helping to stand up the Black Employees Resource Group, or ERG, at our department. Serving over 40 million California consumers, my department regulates thousands of financial service providers, including banks and credit unions, debt collectors, and money transmitters like PayPal. Before serving the people of California, I had an exciting career with some of our country's largest banks. Despite having worked hard to get to the top, I was disheartened to see that not many banking executives look like me. When the head of my State Department asked me in the fall of 2020, a few months after the murder of George Floyd, to lead the first Black Employees Resource Group, I knew that answering the call of duty was the right thing to do. Starting the department's first ERG was no simple task, and I had concerns that the work would be viewed as partisan. It took only a few meetings and some fairly raw discussions to see how crucially important it was. Today, the Black Employees Resource Group is officially chartered and has helped foster a diverse and inclusive workplace. Moreover, it inspired my department to adopt guidelines for the formation of others. When I accepted my appointment, leading this group was not in the job description. However, stepping up to the plate has proven to be one of the most meaningful experiences I have had as a Black professional. I thank my team for their hard work and offer some parting advice. To my fellow leaders, answer the call of duty if it feels right, and let your inner compass guide you when entering uncharted territory. In conclusion, thank you to Color Magazine, and congratulations to all the other award recipients.
Thank you for your incredible work, Edgar Gill, and congratulations.
I am honored to announce our organization's winners this year. These award winners have made long-lasting contributions to their institutions, employees, and communities in the areas of diversity, equity, inclusion. In the category of Change Agent Organization, the winner is Diversity at Workplace Consulting Group. Diversity at Workplace Consulting Group is an innovative, implementation-focused diversity and inclusion consulting and training company for today's workplace. Led by its principal, Sujan, Diversity at Workplace brings no frills, deeply practical D&I expertise and experience. They believe diversity and inclusion comes from doing the work, not just from believing in it. This means not only changing of the minds, but it's also about changing of practices and processes. Congratulations to Diversity at Workplace Consulting Group for receiving this award, and it is well earned and deserved. In the category of Leadership Organization, the winner is CIC Health. Headquartered in Cambridge, Mass., CIC Health collaborates with its partners to streamline and expedite operations to meet public health challenges. CIC Health offers comprehensive COVID-19 testing services that are accessible, fast, and easy. They have operated dozens of public testing sites and have provided testing services to more than 600 schools and 450 organizations. They facilitated more than 2 million COVID-19 PCR tests and over 1.2 million vaccine doses. CIC Health also ran 4 mass vaccination sites including Gillette Stadium and Fenway Park, and over 750 pop-up clinics in more than 20 communities in Massachusetts. Just astounding. The work has been featured in CBS News, NPR, The Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times. Additionally, they are widely recognized, including a 2020 Massachusetts Tech Top 50 honoree, a 2021 Fast Company World Changing Ideas honoree, and now a Color All-Inclusive Award winner. Congratulations to CIC Health. In the category of ERG Leader Organization, the winner is Citizens Bank. Citizens believes diversity and inclusion is an essential element of everyone's success, whether it's internally with their employees or externally with its customers and communities. The goal is to execute the same mission to make everyone feel valued, respected, and heard. Citizens' colleagues come from a variety of backgrounds, origins, and cultures with differing life experience and abilities. Their 6 business resource groups provides an opportunity for employees to build its culture, innovate, and make a difference. Their business resource groups, BRGs, are communities that connect, celebrate identity groups while helping foster innovation and growth. Color congratulates Citizens Bank and is proud to accept their ERG Leader Organization Award on its behalf. We will now like to welcome representatives from Diversity at Workplace Consulting Group and CIC Health for a few words, and congratulations to all our award winners.
Diversity at Workplace Consulting Group here. We are absolutely delighted to receive the All-Inclusive Award from Color Magazine, and we're delighted to be with you today. And we are also very happy to share some words with you.
My name is Amanda Martinez. My pronouns are she, her, ella. And receiving an all-inclusive award means that throughout the last year and a half, and even before then, that we at DFW were able to provide a voice to those who felt unheard, unseen. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Artur Nutella. My pronouns are he, him, ed. And receiving this award is an indication and recognition of the work that we're doing and the impact we're making in the community.
Hi, I'm Jen Coburn, she, hers. And I would say that lasting change does not happen overnight. It takes time. And even when you see the problem and you know it can be changed quickly, you have to stay patient and keep fighting the good fight. Change will come.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stella Okiki Common, pronouns she, hers. And we're practicing gratitude here at DFW. And one of the things I continue to be grateful for from 2020 is an opportunity to reimagine what the workplace looks like. And so I want to encourage all leaders to make sure as you're envisioning the new workplace that you're doing it from an inclusive lens.
Hi, my name is Zaina Bruain, pronouns she, hers. And my thoughts for entering the new year and change, I'm actually going to channel Ursula Burns and share a quote of hers that I really like. And it's the best way to change is to do it. And then after a while, you become it, and it's just easy.
Everyone, my name is Amanda Goodrum. My pronouns are she and her. My best advice is to be curious, be respectful, and be generous.
My name is Sue John. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and we are delighted to receive this award. And this award means to us that we've made the impact that we wanted to make as a team in the space of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are extremely proud of each and every one of our team members. We're proud of the work that our clients have done, and we're part of the impact that we have made. On behalf of all of us on this video, as well as our teammates who are not able to join the video, Lottie, Marshall, Sarah, Wendy, we thank you for this award.
Good evening. My name is Rodrigo Martinez, and I'm a member of the CIC Health Executive Team. The last 18 months have been difficult for all of us, but they've been especially difficult for communities of color. Since Tim Rowe and Dr. Atul Gawande founded our organization a year ago, we've been working hard to offer COVID testing and vaccinations across the Commonwealth and the nation. And that includes first responders, students, teachers, staff at hospitals, prisons, even ships. But the work that we're most proud of is connecting our services to those communities affected most by the pandemic, communities of color. And this is why we're incredibly humbled and honored to receive this all-inclusive award. Personally, as a Latino immigrant, as a citizen, as a member of my community, this award means the world. This award is also for the thousands of people and dozens of organizations that we work with every day, especially the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We couldn't do our work without them. On behalf of the CIC Health team, we thank Color Magazine for this incredible recognition. And we also thank you for the critical work that you do in making our community more diverse, more inclusive, and more equitable. Muchas gracias.
Please join me in congratulating all of this year's award winners. They are all amazing leaders and have contributed so much to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Thank you all for your work. Despite the adversity that we have faced in 2021, we have seen here shining examples of change and, most importantly, action in areas of equity, inclusion, diversity, and social justice. Let's keep pushing the needle forward. And if you haven't already, please continue to follow Color on our social media to see what else we have in store for you for the remainder of 2021. Upcoming in our events calendar is our Chief Diversity Officers Summit, which is returning live and in person at Artists for Humanity on December 7th, 2021. And we are offering a series of virtual masterclasses led by D&I experts and CEOs. You can learn more about these incredible events at our website, colormagazine.com. And in closing, we'd like to leave you with a few words of encouragement from previous All-Inclusive Award keynote speakers, Forrest Whitaker and Russell Simmons. Thank you all for attending. I wish you all a safe, healthy, happy holiday season. Be well and take care. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Academy Award winning actor, Mr. Forrest Whitaker.
Because we're all a part of the world, one. Color Magazine reminds us that we all have an equal right to it, regardless of the superficialities that people try to place in between us, try to divide us. I congratulate tonight's winners. Thank you for supporting the Greater Boston Food Bank, and I just want to I'll just say one little story. It's true, it's a science story. It's about a single-cell organism. It's a single-cell organism that lives in the ocean. It's bioluminescent, means it lights up like a firefly. But it doesn't light up when it's alone, this organism. It only produces light when it connects with others. And when these organisms connect, there's this tipping point, there's this singularity of intent. This intent is to create light. I thought, how amazing it would be if humans came together, just as we are here, to create light. I know many of you have volunteered your time in the service of others. I want to encourage you to continue your work in the service of mankind so that you can help plant the seeds, so that you can create the light.
As an entrepreneur, are you inspired now, or are you sort of disappointed in where we are? I mean, are you an optimist, given the fact that, you still are in business, you're doing a great service, you're donating a lot of money to a lot of places, you're trying to lift up the bottom, but is this a good time to be optimistic?
I'm optimistic all the time. So I don't know how to, you do the best you can with what you have. And I don't really spend a lot of weight on markets. And even as an entrepreneur, there's no rationale that, now's the time to launch and now not. Mm-hmm. It's if you're inspired, go to work. I always had this, and I've gained over the years more courage in the idea that if you're inspired, go to work. From examples and experiences that have reminded me, just keep your head down, and whatever it is that you imagine is already there. I just have to have faith and diligence.
One of the big challenges now in here is that in trying to figure out where we're going, the whole idea is that what's the next generation going to do? And when we saw you every week on television exposing us to new talent, a whole new wave of talent, and those folks have become very successful. But where's Russell Simmons now? That is, I don't mean you, but where's that? I'm looking at television, I'm trying to figure out, and I see you're tweeting, you've got blogs, you're connected with that younger generation, but where is the Russell Simmons being creative to get people on television who wouldn't even be on television or radio? And you expose us to a whole generation of incredible artists. How do we
I think there's many
replicate that?
Young, talented people. One thing that hip hop did, people who, and always, in every youth culture, people who are rebelling and create something of their own for their own generation. And the next generation, although it's the same label, is its own unique thing. And they're creating, from an artistic standpoint, these times don't hurt that creativity, the artistic expression is just as, it would struggle and poverty, and that's one of the things that, if we think of jazz or blues or rock and roll and rap, those are all things that came out of struggle, right? So that's not being hurt or damaged by the economy at all. And also by the innovation of the internet, it's allowed a lot of new talent to get exposed, and people who might not otherwise be in a competitive environment are now in a place where they could be competitive. So that I don't think that's being damaged. But I think the some of the things that we can do to correct the economy would be first to take, again, to give the people control of their government and corporations to abide by rules that protect the people in some ways, and I mean reasonable rules. I'm not trying to cut off business. You need a lobbyist to talk, but not to pay.
Right.
Explain, say, don't change that because I'll go out of business. I can't afford to make this stuff here, this particular, and you have a relationship, but some things you'll say, well, you have to make it here, or you tax it so much that they have, but the lobbyists have taken, and that's why you have the best week at Wall Street, or the best day in the history of Wall Street in the last 5-7 years or something like that, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
5 years, not so much as yesterday. But people are slipping deeper. Poverty is trickling up. There's no prosperity trickling down. Poverty, in fact, is gushing up. And prosperity is trickling up.
What's the message to Color Magazine? You see a room full of very diverse people who are very committed to diversity, trying to bring everybody together. It's a version of the Rainbow Coalition of the 20th century. Is this optimism?
Well, I think I'm optimistic about it. I think the gatekeepers in culture and in entertainment, certainly, and that has a lot to do with culture, a lot to do with the way we're going to act in the future, are still a little slow. They don't know that there's such thing as a post-racial America. There's some who live in it, and many other young people who aspire to live in it, and live in it, in their imagination. They like to see, but there's still so much segregation. You talk to a company like NBC, they say, we promise you we'll do diversity, and they make some more black networks. Now, I know that a lot of African Americans, civil rights era and even the new era, who are business people, like to take advantage of it, but the real truth is, if you're talking about culture, African Americans should play in the big media game. They should not be segregated. Martin Luther King fought for you to have access. I have a proof of concept in my globalgrind.com, and it's the integrated staff, integration. There's a young kid grew up in the suburbs who loved hip hop. He didn't like Vibe magazine. He liked The Source.
Gotcha.
It's urban graduates we're talking about. We're
Yep.
talking about urban graduates. The Source is different from Vibe. It's more rock and roll, more gritty. That's a kind of black culture, that's a part of pop culture, that's easily digestible, that is different.
Russell Simmons, thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing
My
these great
pleasure.
ideas and for your wonderful spirit.